I could tell the truth about your G homie, Monster Cody, who was sucking, smoking dope, wearing dresses downtown LA the day he died. These are things I never chose to say out of respect for you as a Kiwi. So if you didn't know Monster Cody was smoking dope, sucking, wearing dresses downtown LA, now you know. All his accomplishments, everything that we can respect. You do killing the same way 3 times, you're a serial killer. That means that you have a particular signature. I don't know about you, but I'm a serial killer. Captain Crunch, of course, love that.
Now, Spider-Loc is receiving a lot of backlash in regards to what he said about Monster Cody. There's a whole lot of OGs that reacted to what Spider-Loc had said about Monster Cody, including OG Gangsta, one of many. Wack 100 pretty much confirms how Monster Cody did used to cross-dress and smoke dope. He explains how he had said this a long time ago and nobody believed him. But this is what Wack 100 said, y'all, about Monster Cody cross-dressing, smoking dope. I don't know how he got the information, but he pretty much seems to believe that what Spider-Loc is saying is true about Monster Cody in regards to him cross-dressing or wearing a skirt.
Long time ago, that dude used to cross-dress and all that kind of shit. Oh, that's I crazy. Told y'all that long. I said it's a lot of that talk about, but it's a whole other side. Cross-dress. Did he put in a bunch of work in his earlier years? Definitely did, but see, Spider-Loc then took the bait, because he ain't a that can say that type of shit that loud, and then don't respond to it.
Card they deep. You got the East Coast, bro. A-Train East Coast do not beef. A-Train East Coast had a few little scrimmages over the years. A-Train East Coast.
You know, I remember getting familiar with Monster Cody, right? Getting introduced to him and just being, you know, somewhat intrigued by his intellect and you know, just the boy in him, the boy of it all, like. You feel me? It was, you know, it was terrible when I found out how things transpired and, you know, what ultimately becoming of that situation. Rest in peace to him, bro. Condolences to his family. Condolences to the Treys. You know what I mean? I can understand Spider saying what he's saying. You know, I can understand. It makes sense from the point of like, you disrespecting my homies, I disrespect your homies. Although, you know, Monster met his untimely demise, bro. And you know, to a lot of people, it comes off as distasteful, whatever have you. You know, Spider, bro, you know, type shit. Let's keep it.
Actually, A-Train East Coast in those days were actually cool and closer than probably what they were today. Being the founder from the A-Train Gangsters and other guys from that first and second generation of the A-Train Gangsters have a lot of family in the East Coasts. It is a known fact. The reason why the A-Trays and Hoovers fell out is because the A-Trays did not get in the East Coast and Hoover War. So it's like you got to be mindful when you get on these cameras and you just trying to talk and basically give stuff that's supposed to be factual and talk about dudes in certain lights, and you ain't even got the facts because we don't beef with East Coasters. The 90s wasn't going to allow what, but they also asked him.
And Hefe lets it be known that there is no beef between A-Train Gangsters and the East Coast. I hope Spider-Loc, what he said, doesn't ignite some kind of beef, even though a lot of people have been saying recently that a lot of A-Train Crips is on Spider-Loc's head about what he said. Even some East Coast people that had love for Monster Cody is on Spider-Loc's head. Now, OG Gangsta and OG Cartoon both reacted and said it's all cap. Monster Cody was not wearing no skirt, no dresses. It ain't true. But this is how they responded and checked Spider-Loc.
There's one thing about me, man. I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying, who try to entice me, who try to make me bite, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, homie. For me, the dead is off limits, man. I ain't gonna never speak ill of nobody dead, whether they supposed to be the enemy or I'm going at it with some nigga and he say something about
So, cause if you think about it, right, he like, hold on, you do this to my homies, I do this to your homies, you see how I feel, right? But if you think about just the latter, you know what I'm saying? Spider being a little bit older than Ant, right? Cody being a little bit older than Spider, it's like, okay, we gonna get everybody involved in this shit then, since y'all wanna just act like what Ant said about my homies is, you know, some small shit. Then we all know violence begets violence, right? Once the violence start, it's kind of hard for it to stop. So I don't understand why instead of you can even issue a stern warning, right? But I don't think you know what Spider said needs to be met with violence. Correction, bro. We need to meet each other with love.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody I love or something. I'm not going to convert to talking about the dead, man. The dead is dead. No matter what you say, you can't say nothing to hurt them. They dead already. You know? I met Monster Cody in Juvenile Hall, Central Juvenile Hall, man, back in the 70s, man. From the day I met Monster, man, we've been cool. We was cool and tight ever since, man. I did time with Monster and W.I.G and YTS, Youth Authority. I did time when I was a kid with Monster in the county jail. And I fucked with Monster on the streets, man. The night he caught that case when he had blast on some 60s and shot little Eddie boy in the ass. I was there that night, man. It's in his book. He got me in his book. He had pulled up on me and Mondo and Twin. He had pulled up on me, Mondo and Twin, man, and he had told us, cuz, I'm gonna go blast on these fools, and, you know, if y'all leave, but y'all want to get up out of here, y'all. He had that much respect to come to me and tell me. And you know what I'm saying? And I was like stuck in between a rock and a hard place because I fuck with A-Tray gang. I got love for A-Tray gangsters, and I also fuck with 60s. Man, the 60s, I fuck with them, man. Key to Rock, my boy. Petey Wack, my boy.
Pulled up over there, told OG, shake the spot. It's finna get hectic around here. And it's, you know, it's you know, the genocide of it ain't nothing to glorify, right? But it's just it's the G of it. It's like he got hardy, courageous. It really don't take much.
A whole lot of 60s, Mad Dog. Whole lot of 60s that I fuck with, man. Banger T, man, he rests in peace. You know? I couldn't do nothing but just leave, man. You know? And as we was driving off, I heard gunshots. I just prayed that didn't nobody get killed, man. You know, but I'm going to tell y'all something about Monster, man. Monster was a G, man. When it come to talk about a nigga gangster, Monster was a gangster, man. I ain't never seen him fold. I ain't never seen him turn down a fade. Man. And what was so special about Monster, man, is he was smart as a motherfucker, man. The man was smart, homie. You know, but everybody, you know, listen, man. I got a whole lot of homies that got caught up on that dope, man. That don't make you no bad person, homie. My homie Killer Wayne, OG, homie that started the hood, was on that shit, man. And I used to just see him at random and pick him up and be like, nigga, get in the car, nigga. Get in the car, Killer. I'd pick Killer up, man. Go to the swap meet, buy Killer like 5 khaki suits, some drawers, some socks, and t-shirts. Shit crazy, homie. That was just one of Monster's weaknesses, man. You know when he died out there in the...
You know, some would argue that it was shit. We done heard so many people say why it was put into the community, referring to crack, right? I didn't have family members, bro, multiple family members on crack, bro. I remember being young and, you know what I'm saying, like little kid, like little baby type shit. And, you feel me? And certain family members was on it, and I didn't look at them. I ain't gonna lie, like when people like everybody, peoples was on crack, so it wasn't too many people that could just tease you. But in a moment, they could tease you like, damn, look at yo, people's tweak or whatever type shit, right? But I didn't look at them no different. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the jokes that people was making wasn't to make us make, you know, because they had people who was on it too. So, but you know, yeah, I didn't look at them no different. I still loved them. It was a long time ago, bro. They changed their life, bro. You wouldn't even be able to tell now that they did that shit.
San Diego area in Oceanside, man. He didn't die downtown. They ain't find Monster with no motherfucking skirt on, man. Man, hey, man. Shit crazy.
Home, where he was speaking on Monster Cody, Big Monster from A-Trey Gangster. And what they told me he said, I was like, what? Huh? They was like, man, Tune, just go check it out for yourself. Go check it out. So I did. I went over there and I checked it out. I listened. And I listened to some of the stuff he was saying about Big Monster. And which was out of this world. I mean, talk about super duper out of this world disrespectful. It was blasphemy. It was wrong. I personally do not believe it was true. Not one bit. He had the nerve to say that Big Monster was downtown LA wearing dresses because he was on dope, wearing dresses and putting other men's body parts in his mouth. Come on, man. You gotta stop it, man. That's no. Say he was doing this when he passed away. For one, Monster didn't pass away in downtown LA, y'all. He passed away up there in near San Diego.
Man, shout out Top Media. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of the, it wasn't too much backlash. It was, whatever have you people. I like the way a lot of the OGs come out and just was like, just was trying to offer correction instead of like, trying to come up across like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it was another OG, just like Bounty Hunter BJ, he chimed in on the matters and shit like, but that's it. I was just tripping off that when I was talking about the crack shit, right? Like certain shit, right, has been cultivated and brought to you by the inner city, bro. You know what I'm saying? The results of some of this shit that they did, these experiments, this crack, this, that, and the third, right? And we see people, that's why I take so much offense to seeing certain people in the community or in the culture playing. Acting like they got rights to the culture, acting like, did you fucking experience that? My uncle did 30 years, bro. My daddy did about 2015. Feel me? My peoples was on crack, bro. What you experienced? What, like, that shit be crazy, bro. You ain't a product of the experiment. You're a product of a bigger experiment, the natural American experiment. Not the inner city ghetto experiment. Feel me? And you trying to act like you got rights to this shit. That's why I seen like the little backpack kid and just certain people in the community trying to act like you down and you love it. You don't love shit, bro. You don't even know shit. We'll get into this other shit though, bro.
What's the word with the politickers? Bounty Hunter BJ had to address the monkey in the room. I mean the elephant. I ain't been seeing much of what Spider had to say, to be real. Every time I look up, he dissing somebody, though. He was bumping his gums about Monster Cody, 'cause he had some words with Young Gang. I don't know what he thought was gonna come from trying to smut Monster. This the second time I done seen him disrespecting the keyway that's rested. First it was Hustle, Now it's Monster Cody. 60s and the A train is gonna powerhouse his ass in front of that convalescent home when they catch up with him. It's gonna be a beautiful day. BJ was down with Monster in 78 while he was fighting his cases for some hot shit. He was 17 years old. He said Monster was trooping and he respected that. He for sure gave him his flowers. He said he ain't worried about the cowards. Whatever midlife crisis Mr. I ain't never found myself after G-Unit going through, he better figure it out and pack it up. Stop popping all them damn Skittles. All that rat poison frying your brain, man.
Check this out, man. 1978 going into 79, man. I caught my first body, man, 2 attempts and an ADW. I was facing 12 years, man, at 17 years old. And I met one of the most infamous, I'm talking about one of the most down young Crips that was alive during that structure in that time, man. I met him in a holding tank when I was in the midst of fighting my own very enemies from 2 sides of the tracks, Gray Streets and P.J. Watts. They wasn't enemies amongst each other at this time. They was Crips. And so in the process of this, and I've told this story numerous of times online because I always give my boy his props because that was my homeboy. That was like a real homie to me from A-Tray Gangster. Me and Cody was cool as man. Bro, the name was Mike.
I ain't gonna lie, like somebody like Monster, right? He just the aura, the swag, how he pop it is real familiar, right?
Monster Cody, man, the infamous Monster Cody, man. Mr. Cody himself, Shakur himself, man. Hey, bro, I met that man in 79, and we became cool. I'm talking about off top as Blood and Crips. Youngsters at that day. We young in the game. We both young and fresh coming up in the game in the late 70s, man. Young. My homeboy Rat Dog, he had so much respect for Rat Dog because they had a run-in YA. Because Rat Dog was a fool, a beast. But man, I ain't never, ever in my life. And see, this go to show you this internet is so messed up, effed up, man, and try to tear so many real legends down, bro, because this weenie ass, I want to excuse my cussing because I don't want to mess up my ass and everything, but this old weenie internet, bro, you can be anything you want on this internet. As long as you got a couple of dollars, you can hide out and stay away from cats. Hey, man, this shit is wrong, bro, to try to tear down a legend. And I'm a real Damu from Nixon Guards, a former Damu at that, man, retired, legendary. Monster Cody was a beast, a legend Crip, man, a rider. He wasn't a dope fiend. All them years in the game, nigga ain't never did dope, none of that shit. Feel me? He got caught up somehow his last eras of his time, his life, and his demise. That's his personal thing, man. But come on, bro. Why do cats try to take away from what individuals were, man? Monster Cody was a good dude, bro, to try to tear down a legend. And I'm a real dumb.
I think we got a problem with doing that to each other, right, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the shit that goes on in the so-called black community is really asinine, bro. You know, this shit was brought about by Ant and Spiders back and forth with each other, right? And, you know, I ain't gonna lie, like, Monster, it was one of the ones, me getting familiar with the scene and shit like that, Monster was one of the first ones, bro. Regardless of how it turned out, right? Me getting familiar, introduced with it, I know the aura and essence of a boy. Feel me? Grew up around so many of them, right? That's why I say familiar. He come across as like a real boy, a real man type shit. Being that though, you know, every man is flawed and it's shit, bro. It be like that, you know. Some of this shit, they talk about PTSD and certain little shit like, you know, that shit take a toll, bro. Whatever on people, you know, in the game, and you feel me? You know, it's tough, bro. But yeah, it's causing quite a bit of a conversation. You know, a lot of the OGs is coming out and shit. They kind of like just trying to get the situation correct before it, you know, because he got a legacy and, you know, he was a boy. It's, you know, it's crazy, right? Because the same reason why he got a legacy, even though he was an intellect and hella shit, that's the difference. That's really what made him stood out to me, bro. The level of wit and you know, type shit. But still ignorant though. At the same time, it's like, you know, because somebody who's super intelligent is not gonna involve itself into certain things unless, right, you're a thrill seeker or, you know, it's type shit anomalies or whatever have you. But yeah, bro, that's you know, that's one thing that stood out to me is that he was a boy, and it's crazy that the same reason why he got the reputation he got and is revered and this, that, and the third is the same reason why these youngsters is running around here acting the way they acting. But it's senseless. And, you know, someone argue some of the shit he was doing was senseless. I ain't gonna talk your ear off, bro. We on to the next one. Y'all niggas let me know what y'all think. Rest in peace too.
Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Ay, I need that cheese like a grater, ho. Don't play me like no